Welcome back to Footballology. So today I have another NFL draft prospect for you guys, David Anenih. I think I said his name right. First of all, side note, University of Houston defense is crazy. Like since I've been doing research on David, their defense line's good. Or they got another guy, Logan Hall, coming out that's pretty good. They got some good defensive backs that are coming out. They're pretty decent. Like they got some ballers in Houston. But anyways, back to David Anenih. This guy is really interesting to me. So stumbled upon him just looking around, found this highlight reel, decided to watch him. Looked really interesting. Did further research, come to find out he had 20 sacks in his career. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Granted, I was over the course of 5 years. 2017, 2020 were kind of those 2 years you're just like, eh. But for the most part, he's about a five, 4.5, 5 sack guy. So I could take that. I could live with that, especially coming out of the collegiate ranks. And like I said, on that Houston defense, they had a lot of ballers. So I could take that. I'm okay with that. But deciding to do more and further research and seeing more, just to kind of learn more about him, I need to find out what he did. I didn't see him at the combine. I don't remember seeing his name at the combine. I looked everywhere. I could be wrong. But what I did find was what he did at his pro day. And if you guys really want, if you really are trying and you're trying to do research and you're trying to find information out on guys and everything, Marcus Jones on the side note, pretty good baller too. But if you're trying to find research on guys and everything, it's somebody somewhere has an article. You just got to read through it. So I read through the article, and this writer had writ about the Houston Pro Day, and he was writing about the Houston Pro Day and everything that happened. And so we see that he put up 25 reps on the bench, and then he also ran a 4.66. And this is pretty accurate too, because I found another article saying the same thing, that he ran about a 4.6. So I can live with that, right? Like that's some good numbers from your pass rusher. Now, something that I noticed with him on tape, or what I noticed on film, is that he does have a really good first step. He's a really good speed rusher, if that makes sense at all. But he has a good first step. He has some good quickness. He knows how to bend and take the corner. Now, where he actually lacks is his strength. Granted, he put up 25 reps, but what you see is that he doesn't have a good second effort when it comes to actually rushing the passer, and that kind of worries me off a little bit. And I can see why a lot of teams are not high on him because of those things. Like if he doesn't win initially, he kind of loses himself in the play at that point. But somebody that I compared him to, or somebody I was looking to compare him to, that kind of jumped out to me was Justin Houston. Now, Justin Houston, when he came out of Georgia, he was a really good pass rusher. He had 20 career sacks on his collegiate ranks during his collegiate time, which you can see over here. Had 20 sacks, really good pass rusher, did his thing, the whole nine. I thought Justin Houston was a really decent pass rusher when he came out. But what you've seen is that he had the physical traits, but when he mentally started to learn the game, he started to become a better and better pass rusher. So I'm wondering if David Anenih can do something like that along those lines with the physical traits that he possesses currently, and put himself in a situation where he could be on a team that can really start to mold him into an elite pass rusher or to a high level pass rusher. Like you always, especially late round guys, because that's all I really ever talk about on my channel is late round guys, because everyone's talking about the top 10s and the top 20, top 50 guys. Like everybody's talking about them. I want to try to shine some light on some of these other guys. And so, with these late round guys, what you start to look for is just physical traits. Do they at least have physical traits that we can really have those building blocks off of? And he does possess some of those physical traits. Another pass rusher that came to mind while I was doing this video or putting everything together was Jerry Hughes too. Jerry Hughes has some of the similar issues when he was coming out of TCU. Was that when the Colts had taken him, he was very undersized or kind of light, but he was just a speed rusher. And the Colts they kind of threw in the towel on him kind of quickly, but he found his home in Buffalo and really started to find his own. And I don't know if it's because they had some other good defensive linemen out there, which Buffalo did have some really good defensive linemen out there, but he really started to come on as one of those solid pass rushers, those guys that you can really say, okay, Jerry Hughes is a threat on every Sunday. So I really, really like Jerry Hughes comparisons. I really like the Justin Houston comparisons. He's a light, undersized pass rusher. Like I said, he doesn't win on second effort, which kind of scares you off a little bit. But what he does is he can win initially. If he wins initially, he's getting home and he's very disruptive. But we can see him add on some weight. We can see him, and I don't think he need to add on much weight. Probably, he's 240 now, so maybe another 10 pounds or something of muscle. You really like to see him get a little bit more stronger at the point of attack, and at least try to, alter or kind of add more weapons or more moves into his repertoire. That's what I'm looking for. And I think that if he can, along those lines, if he could do something like that, I think he can become a guy that he can rely on to get you some sacks, maybe close to 9, 10 sacks a season kind of type guy. So I don't know. I want to put this guy on you guys' radar. Let me know what you think, David Anenih. I'm gonna put everything once again that I find in the description box below. And just like I said, 20 sacks on his career. I compared him to Justin Houston. Granted, it was over 5 seasons. I still take that any day of the week. He had forced fumbles and some fumble recoveries. He's a good speed rusher. He's a guy that has some physical traits that you can put in place and really help your team out today. I think the way I see him being drafted, I don't see him on big boards, to be honest with you, at this point. So we're talking 6th, 7th round, and definitely priority free agent, or a guy that you're gonna say, hey, can we come in? And don't pit. And a lot of these guys, and this is what I love. Side note, real quick. What I love is happening right now in today's world, especially in the football community, is that we have the XFL that's coming on. We have the TCL, which I've covered before, that's coming on. We have the USFL that just had their draft. So there's going to be a place for him eventually. But what I would like to see him, I would like to see him at the NFL. I mean, we want to see all these guys at the NFL, right? But I would like to see him get into some professional strength and conditioning and a professional, like, defensive line coach, somebody that can really help him with his repertoire, his move set, and I think he can be a solid pass rusher. Like I said, he has some really good physical traits, and we would like to see what happens with him. So I want to put this guy on you guys' radar. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you're not a footballologist, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go on and hit that subscribe button today, become a footballologist, and stay safe, football fans.